And then the innovation, you don't need a patentable, groundbreaking, the most competitive solution, but you need the most relevant solution for those people. So the formula for making a difference in those lives of those 5 billion people is relevance plus innovation is equal to impact. And to test out this experiment, we started a program in Hubli, which is halfway between Mumbai and Bangalore in Karnataka, called the Social Innovation Sandbox. So the idea was to co-create the solution with the people and then scale it. So that effort has been going on now for about 15 years. So now we have 1,000 people on the payroll. We have about 4 campuses, 300,000 square foot skilling campus, 100,000 square foot incubator, and so on. So it's a fairly well-structured infrastructure and about 1,000 people working on the payroll. And what we're trying to do is to come up with solutions that can scale. Because one thing I noticed about the for-profit and the non-profit sector is that in the for-profit sector, because customer pays for the solution, it's a very powerful feedback loop. So if you do things that the customer doesn't want, you don't survive. And so that powerful loop always keeps you grounded and keeps you doing things that are valuable to your customers. And also execution excellence becomes very important. If you serve bad masala dosa for 2 days, you're out of business. And so execution excellence is given, relevance is given, but then you may lose compassion along the way in the for-profit sector. You may lose compassion for the environment, for the people, and so on. Whereas in the non-profit sector, typically the beneficiary does not pay for what you provide. And so you lack that strong feedback loop from the people you're trying to help to what you're doing. And therefore, the execution excellence does not exist in that sector. In fact, both US and India have close to 3 million NGOs, and I would say most of them are non-performing assets. They don't really accomplish much. So in some ways, the nonprofit sector is a land of the living dead. There's no M&A, there's no Chapter 11, and therefore, it really lacks that execution excellence. So the theme behind what we're doing is to bring the execution excellence to the nonprofit sector and bring the compassion to the for-profit sector, because that's what we need to do to create a stable, vibrant society. So let me just give you, we work in 4 sectors. We work in skilling, agriculture, entrepreneurship, and micro-entrepreneurship. So I'll just give you one example of the program that's scaling, and maybe then I can take some questions and answers. So, a lot of the farmers in India, their productivity is pretty low. It's on an average, it's 1/8 of what the people do in Israel. And one of the biggest multiplier of income is water. So we actually get quite a bit of water in the region, let's say in Hubli, Dharwad. We also work in Telangana. There's good 60, 70 centimeters of rain, but you don't have the water when you need it. So we came up with this idea, which is not a new idea, to build these farm ponds. So if we dig a hole that's 100 feet by 100 feet by 12 feet, it's enough rainwater to irrigate 5 acres of land and get 2 crops. So Ratan Tata was visiting Hubli. He had come to our conference in 2013. And when I mentioned this, he gave us 5 JCB machines. So over the next 2 years, we built about 150 of them, learned how to do them, and also made sure that actually it does double the income of the farmers. Over the next 6 years, we built 5,000 of them, where the farmer paid 75% and we paid 25%. We meaning the foundation and the other CSR and so on. And we just launched a program to do 100,000 of them, where the farmer pays an upfront 20%. It's roughly about a lakh. So he pays 20,000 rupees. And we get 80,000 rupee loan from SBI and HDFC Bank